I wrote the outline for today's video at 4 in the morning while I was feeding my baby on one knee and using voice dictation with my other hand. Honestly, that is my life right now. Becoming a mom 5 months ago has taught me more about ambition, leadership, and even AI than my entire 15-year career in Silicon Valley ever could. So today, I am sharing 5 lessons from new motherhood. And here's the thing. These are actually going to apply to you whether or not you ever plan to have kids. So let's get into it. Lesson number 1, your identity will shatter, let it. Before the baby, I had my identity on lock. I was this girl from a small farm town in Canada who cold pitched a billionaire at 17 years old and built a career in Silicon Valley. I became a GP at a VC fund, LinkedIn top voice, blah, 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 blah. I had the whole personal brand thing figured out. Then I became someone's mom. And at 3 in the morning, covered in spit up, none of the titles matter, not even a little bit. Here's what nobody tells you. The identity crisis is not a bug. It is a feature. When everything I thought defined me got stripped away, I found out what was actually underneath. And you know what? What's underneath? It's stronger, it's clearer, and it's way more interesting than the brand that I spent years building online. Now, here's why this matters. Even if you're not a parent, we're all living through the biggest professional identity crisis that the world has ever seen. AI is stripping away the tasks that used to define entire roles and careers. So if your identity is I'm the person who writes the reports, or I'm the one who builds the decks, you're about to have your own 3 a.m. moment. IBM just tripled their entry-level hiring, but they rewrote every single job description. The roles don't look like they did 2 years ago, so the people filling them can't either. Don't cling to who you were. Get curious about who you are being forced to become. Lesson 2, ruthless prioritization is a non-negotiable. I used to think I was good at time management, color-coded Google calendars, theme days, productivity systems, stacked on productivity systems, atomic habits, you name it, I read it. Then I had a baby and realized that I had totally been cosplaying as a busy person. When you have roughly 90 minutes of usable work time before the next feeding or crying session or diaper blowout, you learn very quickly what actually matters. The newsletter that moves this business forward, that gets written. But the quick sync that could have just been a Slack message, eliminated. The 20-minute LinkedIn scroll to stay informed with the industry, gone. Motherhood taught me a brutal truth. You don't find time. You make it by killing everything else that doesn't earn its place on your calendar. Honestly, some of the tools that I'm using right now make me wonder how parents ever did this before AI. Honestly, voice-to-text apps like Whisperflow or Claude for brainstorming, Notion agents to organize my thoughts for how to write a book. By the way, these are not sponsorships. They're literally how I am surviving as a new mom. So here's my challenge to you. You need to audit your time like a new parent would. If you only had 90 minutes a day to move your career or business forward, what would you do? Do that thing and cut the rest. Lesson number 3, willpower will not save you, systems will. By month 2, our house looked like a crazy startup that was running out of our living room. There was stuff everywhere, half-finished cups of coffee, energy drinks in my case, people falling asleep in random places, including my mom, who I totally desperately called in from Canada to come save us at about 8 weeks. 8-week sleep regression, if anybody's familiar. It was 2 in the morning when my husband walked into the bedroom holding the baby after we hadn't slept for days. And he said to me straight up, "We need to get our shit together." And he was right. We needed systems, simple ones at first. We decide who gets up with the baby each night and who gets to sleep. Divide and conquer. Then we added shared docs for the feeding schedules. We had a running list of questions for the pediatrician. I know it sounds completely neurotic, but it saved our sanity. And honestly, it probably saved our marriage. And here's the bigger insight. The founders who burn out are not the ones with the hardest challenges. They're the ones who try to brute force everything with willpower instead of building a system. This applies to anyone that is building anything, whether it is your company, a career, or a family. You have to stop relying on the hustle. You need to build infrastructure that lets you sustain it. Lesson 4, redefine ambition before someone else does it for you. Before the baby, ambition looked like this: more deals, more content, more followers, more money. After, Ambition looks like being fully present for bath time and still shipping this newsletter to 45,000 people. It looks like enough instead of more. Now, this is a part where I'd normally tell you, work harder, dream bigger. And yeah, I totally still believe in big swings. Of course, my entire career is built on them. But I have learned that ambition without clarity is just busyness. And busyness is the enemy of building anything that lasts. The same is happening across industries right now. AI is forcing everyone to ask, what does success actually look like when the tools can do 10 times more than you ever could? If the AI can help you accomplish in 1 hour what used to take you 10, does ambition mean doing 10 things? Or does it mean doing one thing with 10 times more depth or taste or intention? It's a really hard question that you have to ask yourself. And I think the people who win in the next decade are not going to be the ones who do the most. They're going to be the ones who are clearest about what matters and relentless about only that. Lesson number 5, partnership is the ultimate multiplier. A few weeks before my baby was born, my mom said something to me on a phone call that stopped me in my tracks. She said, Jenny, you will know very quickly whether your husband is one of the good ones. And that hit different because my husband and I have been together almost 15 years. We built businesses together. We've navigated early debt together. As many of you know, we've survived loss together. I just kind of always assumed that he would be a great parent. But raising a human together, whole new ballgame. The early days of parenthood are going to stress test any relationship. I was sleep deprived, overwhelmed, and one poorly timed comment away from a meltdown at all times. And what got us through it was not romance, it was not love, it was actually operating like co-founders. Clear rules, honest communication. We actually had a shared chat GPT project where we tracked bottles, diapers, and pumps. The willingness to say, I am at capacity, I need you to take this without guilt. If you're building anything meaningful, a career, a company, a family, you need to invest in the people around you, not just your mentors or your network. The people that are in the trenches with you every single day, that relationship is the total operating system that it's all built on. So to recap, 5 months in, here's what I know for sure. 1, let the old version of you break so a better one can emerge. 2, protect your time like someone who only has 90 minutes a day. 3, build systems, especially with AI, so you can only spend energy on what you can do. 4, get clear on what ambition actually means to you, not what it looks like on LinkedIn. And number 5, invest in your partnership, because that is the secret multiplier to everything else. Motherhood didn't slow me down. It forced me to get honest about what I was actually speeding towards. So if you are in a season of transition right now, new parent, career change, figuring out what the new job market means for you, know that the disorientation is temporary. But what comes after is sharper, more intentional, and more than anything you've ever built before. So if you're going through this, drop your biggest life transition lesson in the comments. I read every single one. And if you know a new parent who's also trying to figure out this whole career thing, send them this video. If this video is resonating with you, remember to subscribe to this channel and subscribe to the newsletter below, where you will get this newsletter in your inbox every single Wednesday. We are all in this together. I will see you in the next one.